right now we got the pump, you know, no air pressure to it. It's off, air line's off, which don't have to necessarily do that, but we gotta have the fluid off, and you gotta take your pickup tube off. So then you try to get as much as that out of there as you can, because it's gonna come out on you. You pull this cotter pin, pull this guy out. Put that there, we won't forget about it. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna unscrew this fluid bowl. That's it, right? Probably have to take an Allen wrench and get that off. You know the rod that they gave you with the pump, like that rod that's about that long? That's what that's for, as well as putting these back on. Yep.
I had no clue what that was for.
That's for that as well. So there we go. There you go. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Well, we got that
Clean
lacquer
that.
thinner over there.
Yeah.
We probably ought as well put that in there. And then while we're getting this out, we're gonna make sure that we get this rod cleaned up a little bit as well. So after we take this apart, what we'll do is we'll get some lacquer thinner and clean this part up.
Okay.
And you know, you can see that top part, that nut, that's all we're putting back on. We're putting that on instead of this old one. So.
I gotcha. Let that soak for a second, and I can clean that one.
Yeah, well, this is going to come out, so
Oh,
we'll
this,
do,
this will come out?
It's going to come
right.
out, so.
All right.
What I like to do is like put a wrap around it just to keep it, you know, from getting kind of scarred up a little bit. Not that it's a huge deal, but. And then, see this fluid section here? We're going to be turning it off, so what we want to do is I typically like to put it like this to use it, to give it a little extra, just a little extra stop there, so.
And then try to hold this steady.
Yep. So we got to break loose this bottom piece. Since we're taking it apart, I mean, really all we got to do is take this off, put a new one on. But let's, you know, if we're going to do it, let's do it all the way. So we're going to take this bottom piece off. Yeah.
Can we stand it vertically?
Yeah, we could. We'll just put it
Then
in.
it'll get in the flat to flat, and I won't be able to turn
We'll
it.
put it in twice. It'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yep, that
It
should
won't,
work.
it won't have to be held near as tightly either, because it should be able to. We gotta worry about
Let's
that
go.
off.
There we go.
That comes right
That
out.
one's no problem. So let's get this guy off, and then we'll get that bottom part off. So this is what's bad on this. So this is going to go away.
Clean this thing out.
Yeah. Okay to use this way.
Yeah, but
Now we're going to clean this all out. This is the part that's bad. Right here.
Okay.
That spring seal. If we were just replacing the spring seal, then we'd put this part back in with the new spring seal. We're not doing that. This is no good no more. So the housing's fine, but there's no need for it. So
okay.
now we got this ball. Hear that?
Yep.
There's a fluid ball in there. So if you ever pull this out and that's stuck, you can't put it back together until you get it clean.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this and we're going to inspect it
Okay.
for seals and all that. I am going to take a little bit of this razor blade, get all this grime off here.
Maybe you want me to clean any of this other stuff up?
Yeah, we can just drop that down in some thinner. We'll come back to that guy in a little bit. Yeah, it'll be all right. So we have our new ball housing, right? But one thing we don't have in here is we don't have the fluid ball. So it's in the thinner back there, but we have a new one here. So we might as well just put that one in. So you put your ball down there. So you put your white washer, then your metal washer, then your ball, right? You get your ball housing. It just goes on over top like that. Then we got a couple different ways you can go about doing this. I like to put this on. This is a spring seal. You can't put it on straight, right? What you have to do is you have to come in at an angle. Put it on at an angle here. you can't go straight on with that, because if you try to, it's not going to go on. So then, now we're looking at this guy here. It's pretty clean. We have a new one of these. We may as well use it.
Got a bunch of gnats sitting on my coffin.
Oh, that's no good. So we'll put that guy on. This seal in here, I don't like to take anything out if it doesn't look compromised. This looks fine. If that's missing,
What one is it?
that guy there, if
Yeah.
that's not in there,
Okay.
that's it right there. But
Yeah,
it's in there,
it
we're
looks
good to
pretty
go.
good.
Yeah, it looks nice. So we're gonna put this on. And we're just gonna give it a little bit of a snug here, right? We're not gonna tighten nothing yet. We'll pull this up. We'll take our new housing that we got. We'll put it on. We'll just let it drop down in there and we'll snug it up. Snugged everything up. We'll pull that up and then we'll tighten this a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll tighten this one up just a little bit. All right, before we really clamp everything down, what we're going to do is we're going to see. Hear that?
It's suction into your finger.
Yeah. You can't do it this way, so that's because the fluid balls, it ain't gonna work. So the pump sits like this. So this is the piston stroke. We pull it. We got
Okay,
suction.
that's suction, yeah.
If you put that together, don't have no suction, then
Something's-
you don't put it on the pump
Right.
because something's not quite kosher. So
Okay.
what we'll do is we'll put this guy in here, and then we'll snug this guy down here. And you do got to put it together, you know, pretty aggressively. You don't want no air or anything leaking while it's on the pump. You got to have it pretty tight. While we have this top section up, we're just going to give this a little bit of a snug. I mean, there's not much tension to it now, but if we keep it loose, you're gonna leak product up through it. So
that's the one you tighten.
Yep. So we're going to tighten that up, just snug. If it starts to leak on the pump, all you do is we come up to it and give it a
And that
turn.
you don't overly kill, you just...
Nope, don't overly kill it. Now at some point you'll smash all those washers down and it won't have no room to do nothing, okay? So we'll put this back in there and see if we can get this tight enough here. I feel pretty confident about that. Before we put it back on the pump, we're going to do our pressure test.
Check it again.
We're good. This one does it on the
down.
on the down. So
And it'll suction you or push out?
it'll push out on the
Okay.
down, and then so that pushed out.
Okay.
Now that pushed out. On the down, it pushes out. So
All right.
and this one,
Up, suction.
we got
yeah.
tons of suction on that one. That's actually one of the most that I've heard in the offsetting, so off the pump. I mean, there's a ton of suction there, so that's perfect. So now we're going to go back to the pump. It's up. So we'll pull this up. Here's our fluid section, or our ball. We got our black ring here to keep fluid from coming down. We have our cotter pin and our rod, right? So to make things easy, you pull this up, put it through.
Come down, yeah, right there.
Yeah. All right. So now we can let go of the fluid section. It's not going to go nowhere. Now we'll push this up and tighten this guy up. To make things easy for you, you want to make sure that your fluid section's, you know, pointing out here.
Oh yeah, that's
And you want this to be relatively tight. If not, you'll leak your throat seal out.
right.
Right. Well, now we hook up our pickup tube. Actually, do you have any Teflon handy that's leaking through there? Ooh. It's going to cause a problem with picking up material very effectively and stuff like that. In some cases, over in some other locations, you know, it has been a big problem that the guys didn't have tape on it. The pump didn't really want to pump so well. And since we got the tape, we might as well put it on the fluid section,
Okay.
or the fluid part as well. We'll put our pickup tube back on this baby. Tie up. We'll have to undo this a little bit because it's taped too close.
The fluid's a blue, you said?
Yes, sir. Blue is the fluid. So I have to pull this down just a little.